Hello, and welcome back to Moon Magic Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we join Princess Cinderella for another full, 10-minute adventure. A strange and sudden silence has fallen over the castle, for the magical songbird whose melody brought joy to everyone has stopped singing. This is a curious story about a silent song, a forgotten friendship, and the magic of listening to what cannot be said. So snuggle in, and let the story begin. In the heart of the castle, in a sun-drenched solarium, lived a tiny bird named Aria. She was no ordinary bird. Her feathers shimmered with all the colors of the dawn, and her song was pure magic. It was a melody that could make flowers bloom brighter, make the castle chefs bake with more love, and make anyone who heard it feel a deep sense of peace and happiness. Every morning, the entire castle would wake to her beautiful, enchanting song. But one morning, there was only silence. Aria sat on her perch, her beautiful feathers looking dull, her head tucked low. She would not sing. The next day was the same, and the day after that. A gloom fell over the castle that was heavier than any cloudy sky. The flowers in the courtyard seemed to droop, and the mood of everyone within the walls grew somber and gray. The royal advisor, a man who liked simple problems with simple solutions, was the first to act. Even the royal chef, a man usually as jolly as his bubbling pots, was miserable. "Your Highness," he sighed to Cinderella, "my soufflés refuse to rise, and my cakes taste of sorrow." Aria's song was the yeast for our spirits, and without it, the whole castle has gone flat. "The bird is broken," he declared to Cinderella and the prince. "It no longer performs its function. We must find a new magical songbird at once." Cinderella looked at the tiny, silent bird and saw not a broken object, but a sad little creature. "She is not broken," Cinderella said softly. "She is heartbroken. We cannot simply replace her. We must understand her sadness." The advisor threw up his hands in frustration. "Sadness? Your Highness, it is a bird. It needs seed and water, not feelings. The solution is a new bird." She watched as Aria hopped listlessly from one side of her perch to the other, ignoring the fresh seeds and sweet water. Her movements were small and sad, but her gaze was fixed. Cinderella followed the tiny bird's line of sight, past the ornate fountains and manicured lawns, to a wilder, more overgrown part of the gardens, a place almost hidden from view. It was there that Aria stared, unblinking, for hours. That afternoon, Cinderella spent a long time in the solarium, just sitting quietly near Aria's cage. The little bird didn't even look at her. She just stared out the window, her silence a heavy weight in the room. Cinderella noticed she wasn't looking at the sky, but down into the gardens, at a specific spot hidden behind the rose bushes. Later, she spoke with the prince. "The advisor is already sending letters to other kingdoms, trying to buy a new songbird," she said, her voice troubled. "But Aria is not a music box. She is a living creature. I feel her sadness is connected to the garden. Do you remember who used to care for her?" The prince thought for a moment. It was a long time ago, but yes. There was an old groundskeeper named Elias. He was the one who first found Aria as a fledgling. They were inseparable. He would talk to her for hours. But he is very old now and just tends to the quietest, most forgotten corners of the grounds. The next day, Cinderella sought out Elias. She found him in a forgotten part of the garden, silently tending to a patch of moss. He was a man of few words, his face as weathered as the bark of an old oak tree. "Elias," Cinderella began gently, "I wanted to ask you about Aria, the songbird. She has fallen silent. The old man's shoulders sagged, and a deep sadness filled his eyes. He nodded slowly. "The song is tied to the heart," he whispered, his voice raspy. "And her heart is tied to the silver birch." "The silver birch?" Cinderella asked. "Her favorite tree," Elias explained. "She used to spend all day singing from its branches before she came to the castle. Her cage in the solarium was placed so she could always see it. But the big storm last month, it broke the tree. A great limb was torn from its side. I failed to protect it, and now, she has lost her song." Cinderella's heart ached for the old man and the little bird. She went to the place Elias had described. There stood a magnificent, ancient silver birch tree, but with a terrible, jagged wound in its side, where a large branch had been ripped away. The leaves on that side of the tree were yellow and withered. It was a tree in pain. The garden was a place of quiet magic. Though overgrown, it hummed with life. Ancient, gnarled rose bushes still produced the most fragrant blossoms, and tiny, resilient wildflowers pushed their way through the cracks in the stone paths. It was a place that remembered love, even if it had been neglected. Cinderella felt a deep sense of peace here, a connection to the woman who had tended it with such care. It was a place worth saving. The royal carpenters, known for building grand carriages and thrones, approached this task with a special kind of reverence. They understood this was not just wood, it was a memory. They worked in silence, their tools moving with a gentle precision. They sanded the broken edges smooth, not to erase the wound, but to honor the tree's strength. They carved patterns of leaves and tiny birds into the perch, a tribute to the life it had once supported. It was a work of healing, not just of craft. But Cinderella knew that just healing the tree's wound wouldn't be enough. The connection had been broken. She immediately summoned the royal carpenters, not to cut the tree down, but to do something very different. With great care, they took the large, broken branch. They hollowed it out and carved it into the most beautiful, ornate new perch. They brought it to the solarium and placed it inside Aria's cage. Then, Cinderella went to find Elias. "Elias," she said, taking his hand. "Aria needs you. The tree needs you, and you need them." She led the old man to the solarium. When Aria saw Elias, a tiny chirp escaped her for the first time in weeks. Elias's eyes filled with tears. He slowly approached the cage and began to speak to her in a low, gentle voice, just as he had done years ago. He told her stories of the forest, of the sun on the leaves, and of the strength of the old silver birch. At first, Aria's song was hesitant, a fragile thread of sound. But as Elias continued to speak, his voice a gentle rumble of reassurance, her melody grew stronger. It swelled with all the memories she had kept locked in her silent heart, the feeling of the sun on her wings, the taste of fresh rainwater, the sight of her friend Elias smiling up at her from the garden below. The song was not just beautiful. It was a story of a bond that could not be broken by storms or by silence. It was the sound of a heart healing as he spoke. Aria hopped from her old perch onto the new one, carved from the wood of her beloved tree. She tilted her head, listening, and then, a single, perfect note filled the air. It was followed by another, and another, until the solarium was once again filled with the most beautiful, magical melody imaginable. It was a song of reunion, of healing, and of a joy that had been restored. And so, Cinderella solved the mystery not by replacing what was broken, but by mending the bonds of a forgotten friendship. She reminded the kingdom that the deepest connections are often the quietest, and that the most beautiful songs come from a heart that feels safe, remembered, and loved. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and subscribe to Moon Magic Bedtime Stories for more wonderful tales. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a peaceful and happy night. Remember to always listen to the silence. It often has the most important things to say. We'll see you for the next story.